Everyday Tactical Vids here with another review. It's Tim, and today we're taking a look at the Gerber Propel Downrange Auto Knife. Price for this item is probably going to run you between $140 and $150. They do have a variety of different propels, and some have more features, some have less features. I got this directly from Gerber for review. It does come in this black box. There's not a whole lot of information on it. It does say on the end what the actual knife is, and then there's one little piece of paper inside which basically says be careful, it's a knife, you can cut yourself. So that's pretty much all you get from Gerber, but let's talk through some of the specs of the knife. One of the first things you can probably notice on the knife is that it says Portland, Oregon right there on the blade. I will tell you, in speaking to one of the Gerber reps out at SHOT Show 2013, he did tell me that they are hearing from their customers and the questions about things made in China versus things in the US, they are taking those things into consideration as they produce knives and other gear. So keep giving them feedback. They appreciate hearing from the people who are purchasing their items. Another thing you can see on the blade is that it says S30V, so that's the type of metal that we're using for the blade. They do call this a modified Tonto, and it's got a little bit of a drop here. Obviously it looks pretty much like a classic Tonto. Actually, on a variety of websites you'll see it says Tonto style blade, and what they call it is a modified Tonto. So you do have a nice sharp point there for piercing. You can also see you have serrations here. I'll show you on the other side very quickly. That's what they look like on this side. The actual blade is a black oxide coating for corrosion resistance. And moving back to the handles, it is G10. I will tell you that it is a pretty aggressive texture on this. You can see I got a little bit of a grass stain there from use. Let me take out my Griptilian here and I'll compare the two. And I will tell you that the texture on the Griptilian versus on the Propel Downrange AO, this is much more aggressive. So if you're wearing this as an EDC knife, you want to be careful that you're not, if you're wearing pants that are really light and they can get scratched up or scuffed up easily, this may be a little bit too aggressive for you. So just a heads up there. I find with jeans it works fine, but for some people, if you have to wear dress pants all the time, this may be tearing your pants after a month or two of wearing it. A couple other features worth noting: we do have the pocket clip, which can go here. It can also go up here. And flipping this over, you can put it on this side as well. The pocket clip does say Gerber on it. See if we can get that in the light. There you can see it says Gerber right there on it. So that's a nice little feature. Down on the end, we do have the pommel, and you can also run a lanyard through that. Paracord fits just perfectly in there. And now let's talk about actually opening the knife, the safety features, and the locking features. So this is an automatic opening knife. It is not an assist knife. It is the automatic opening version of this knife. As you can see, you've got your release button here, and then you have your safety. Release it, so when you see red, red is dead, press the button, and the blade will come out. Now, when the blade is out, it will not collapse on you, nice and sturdy, but if you do lock this in place, and even if you bump the button, you can't press the button down at all. So when you do want to close the blade back up, you want to have it on red, press the button, you can release and fold the knife in. Again, here's what it looks like opening it. A couple final details here. Your blade length is 3.51 inches. Your total length of the knife from end to end is 8.51 inches. And your weight is 4.7 ounces. Alright, let's take it outside and use it. So we're going to do a couple of tests here now with the Gerber Propel AO. Let me open it up here. And we'll start out with just a piece of wood just to show you how it actually cuts. You could certainly use it to shave wood if you are out in the woods camping, a survival situation, whatever it might be. You could definitely shave bark off, or the outer coating of the wood off for getting tinder started. And then if you really needed to sharpen this up, I actually find that the serrated edge works quite well for that. You can see that this will really cut through this wood quite easily. So that's one use. I'll show you with some, I got some paracord here and some regular rope. So just to show you through the paracord, cuts no problem. Regular rope here, again, works totally fine. Obviously something like a plastic bottle, no problem whatsoever. Here's another one. do find that that point is quite good so you can get into something to start your cutting. Oops, there's one more. Again, no problem whatsoever. I'll show you also just on this box, you know, you may use this as an EDC knife or camping knife, whatever it is, but even just cutting through boxes or cutting boxes certainly makes quick work out of this box, as you can see. Just swing around this side a little bit. No problem whatsoever cutting through this. The other test that's good to do on a blade is your checking on the strength of the tip. So, you know, jamming it in, seeing if you get any bend in your blade or in your tip. This piece of wood has been in my garage for quite some time, drying out, but you can see, you know, no problem whatsoever. Looking at the blade, no bend there. So there you go. This definitely a good solid blade. I don't see any issues with it whatsoever. All right, a couple final thoughts on the Gerber Downrange Propel AO. First thing I'll tell you is that it does come in a variety of different options for the knife. You can get it with the tan handle, you can get it with a black handle, and then there are different options as far as how the knife opens. So check out Gerber's website. It's gerbergear.com, and you can kind of browse around and see what they have, and then go to your favorite retailer where you're buying knives locally and let them know what you want if you want to get a hold of this knife or other similar knives, other versions of the Propel. Couple other things I'll say. First, I usually don't have serrations on my EDC knives, but I found the serrations on this to be quite helpful. So when you saw us cutting through the plastic, shaving the wood, and cutting through the cardboard, the serrations actually added quite a bit to that. So just keep that in mind. You know, if you're like me, you generally don't have serrations on your knife, this may be something you want to branch out into. I've actually been quite happy with that. I do like the aggressive tip so you can punch into something and then do the cutting. That's been quite helpful as well. And overall, it's been very solid. The one thing I'll just remind you about, which I said earlier, is that the G10 handle, just the texture of it, because it is a little bit more aggressive. If you're wearing jeans, probably won't be a huge problem, but if you're using this as an EDC knife on a pair of khakis or pants that aren't as durable, you may have the pants start to wear a little bit more just because of the nature of them rubbing against something like this. But overall, great knife. It's been quite enjoyable to use, and I'll keep using this as an EDC. And you know, as we always say at Everyday Tactical Vids, we'll bring you updates. If this knife just continues to be good, or if there are issues with it, we'll let you know about it, so check back often. As always, thanks for watching the video. Please like the video, subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids, check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr as well. We got more videos coming soon. Take care.